The life of a gypsy. The only home Ray Van Horn knows is his trusty RV. He crisscrosses the United States from the streams of Montana to the waters of southern Florida and destinations in between and beyond. It's the life Ray loves. It's the life of a gypsy angler.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, how's it going, Ray?
Good, man.
Yeah, let's go catch some fish.
I pulled into O'Neill's Marina and met up with Captain Ryan Harrington, and the first thing I do when I get out of the truck is I'm checking it out, man. We got east-northeast about 15 to 20, bluebird skies. I mean, if I want to go to the beach, I got the perfect scenario. Not so much if I want to catch snook and even redfish in these conditions. A lot of east-northeast wind. Weather is what it is. We're in an El Nino weather pattern right now, and that means lots of storms, lots of wind, and you got to deal with it. Now, would I have preferred to film this some other time based on that? Of course. This is a coming home party for me, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back up here and excited to kind of show you around your own home waters.
This week we're fishing in the St. Pete area with Captain Ryan Harrington. Now the really cool thing about Ryan, first of all, I mean, you'd never know, as young a captain as he is, that he has a wealth of experience, not only in the inshore fishery, but the offshore fishery. We got a high pressure system, the wind's blowing east-northeast. I think it's still gonna be pretty good fishing. And I'm looking forward to it. Let's roll.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ryan has lived here all of his life. He has fished these waters since he's been a toddler and has an intimate knowledge of this fishery. It's pretty hard to fish St. Petersburg and not be fishing somewhere around the Skyway.
Definitely, yeah. You're gonna see headlights and cars, and it's probably not what you're used to down in the Everglades, but it's kind of our typical thing. So what we have here, this is actually 275 going to the Skyway Bridge. So you'll hear semi-trucks. We have one right here. You'll get a lot of road noise, but the good thing, it doesn't bother the fish, and they like sitting right up against this structure here. And we'll work this flat and work the edge here and hopefully get some fish.
This is actually the reason why I moved to the Everglades.
Yep.
Quite honestly.
Yeah, it's I can see that. Definitely, it's not as serene as most people would think.
No, I've already seen more people in 30 seconds than I'll see in a month in the Everglades.
Yep. Yeah, there's the whole population of Chuckalooski right there.
All right, let's catch one.
Right.
High pressure, they may be, the window might be a little short today.
Yeah. The major was at 4 o'clock, the minor's at 11 today.
11?
Yep.
I've lived in this area for over 25 years. I mean, St. Petersburg, right there at the mouth of Tampa Bay, really is a beautiful place. It's a great fishery. I don't fish it nearly as much as I used to, but that's why Captain Ryan's in the boat. He has an intimate knowledge of the fishery, knew all the spots that I knew, and then a couple that, you know, quite frankly, I hadn't fished in a long time. That being said, those were tough conditions. We didn't even see any redfish for about the first 3 hours.
With this wind, it's not going to be too great.
So we're running over towards Fort DeSoto, and all this history's coming back to me, and Ryan's got a spot that is in the lee. We pull back into the spot. All that east-northeast wind is blowing over the trees. It's basically a non-factor as far as lure presentation, but we still have to deal with high pressure. And it's a beautiful, beautiful spot. We could see snook laid up everywhere, but they would not eat. And after a while, we looked at each other and said, maybe we better get a little closer to the Gulf. Snook, look at that snook right there. Get near a little more current and see if we can offset this high pressure a little bit. Well, Ryan, these fish have fins and tails, man. They run around, they move.
Yep.
You can't fall in love with any spot. You just have to keep, as you were saying, just it's a process of elimination.
That's it, yeah. We're kind of finding out where the fish aren't, so hopefully we can narrow them down and eventually find them here today.
So we pull up to this spot that's got more current right by the Gulf, and Ryan ties on a mirror lure, a sinking mirror lure, and finally, there's a little bit of predation. one's acting like a good one, man.
Yeah.
So this fish attacks the Mirrodine and just pops it. So right away, I'm thinking Ryan's got a really, really nice trout. Big trout, isn't it?
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, nice one. And then the fish jumps, and I'm going, it's a snook.
Oh, it's a snook.
Oh, is it a snook?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, it can't be a snook because every snook I've looked at, which have been dozens, all had an attitude, and it was bad. Nice.
That'll work.
Not a giant, but not bad.
Hey.
Really a pretty fish.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you think you got it figured out, or you think you know what the animals aren't doing, and this guy shows up. Don't have to worry about the bull sharks here as much as we do in the glades. So we thought we had a pattern. Ryan, now that the wind laid down, that tide's starting to come in, maybe we ought to try the inside of the bar.
Yeah, we've been fishing low water all day, and I think we have just enough to go get in the skinny water and look in those potholes. I think we're gonna have some luck with some redfish in there.
Yeah, we'll maybe catch one or two more. Slide in there. Oh, dude. That might have been a good one.
The Gypsy Angler with Ray Van Horn is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Evan Root E-Tech, 300 hours, no dealer scheduled maintenance. Camp Light Truck Campers, no wood, no rot.
So we spent the better part of the morning fishing shallow potholes with very limited success on the west side of the Skyway. Oh, come on, man. Ah, you loaded up on it. And just prior to lunch, the wind starts to lay down a little bit, and it's starting to open up the entire bay. At that point, we run under the Skyway, we run back east, and we fish some bars on the east side of the Skyway, got in some deeper water, and that's when the action started. There we go.
There you go.
Trout. What are you doing in here, Leroy? Some eating stuff. I'll be eating stuff. Trout. One thing you can depend on when it gets tough, you can take a Mirrodine and go catch some trout.
Little trout.
Any size to it?
Nah.
That is a fail-safe pattern. There's a trout. I don't care how bad the conditions are. It's bailed me out thousands of times on charters, and it really helped today. That's a trout.
Yeah.
Pretty fish, aren't they?
Good, healthy fish.
Probably hit a 38 as well.
They're liking this heavy Dean. It's just right in their zone. They sure are pretty.
Ryan, I know there's a number of different retrieves for these Mirrodines, but I think day in and day out, almost without exception, a twitch pause is tough to beat. Sometimes the pause has to be more exaggerated, when the water's cooler and they're a little lethargic. But you twitch it twice and that gets it darting and flashing.
Right.
And then you pause and it starts to sink a little bit. Boy, that usually just gets them. That usually does it. So after we catch a handful of trout, that ain't a bad trout, dog.
No, and he followed it up and ate it right up the trolling motor.
I mean, that was pretty much the day. And, you know, had to tap out and get ready for the next day.
Getting a little bit bigger.
So we're easing out of O'Neill's on day 2. More of the same, except more wind velocity. That made things a lot easier because with the intelligence we had uncovered in day 1, we knew that the inshore bite, the pothole thing, that was going to be little or no return. So that made our decision really easy. We're going to get off the beach that's going to be in the lee with that east-northeast wind, run the entire line of crab traps, probably all the way to Clearwater. Man, when we came around the corner and I saw how flat that water was, I said, this is going to be on fire. And it was smoking hot. Ryan, what's the best time of the year to do this? My answer would be that now when the stone crab traps are out.
Right, yeah, we have tripletail, you know, pretty much year round, but we're kind of getting them offshore, hit or miss. As far as wanting to go target tripletail, it really does coincide with that stone crab season. So that's October 15th through May 15th. The first couple weeks out here, the crab traps have the chum in them, so that's gonna be a natural attraction. Then you have the rope. But as the season goes, that rope, as you can see on some of these, it gets more muck on it, and it's more of a natural environment for these tripletail. So as the season goes on, this structure gets better and better.
I'm not saying it was the first crab trap buoy we pulled up on, but it wasn't any more than the 3rd or the 4th.
There you go.
That's how you do that. There was a nice tripletail floating right there on a crab ball.
First cast.
I'm telling you, man, that popping cork shrimp is a killer on these guys right here.
They were all over that.
How about that? Not a giant, but not bad.
He did not hesitate 1 minute.
Boy, he ate it too. These guys are spawning. Little TT. Back in the pool you go. Ryan, I tell you what, man, when you got tough inshore conditions, this is a great, great opportunity right here.
You called it with that popping cork. You said, watch this, and sure enough, I'm a believer. 1 cast and I'm a believer.
You know, it's all about depth control. If you had a standard jig, it's problematic because, you know, you can't keep it right there in his face. So that'll work if they're real aggressive, but this, you can just sit there and go boot and just let it sit there.
Right.
And the other option, of course, is a fly. Of course, it's a little breezy for that right now, but.
Yeah, it would take some skill.
Yeah, let's catch this other one.
Let's do it.
The Gypsy Angler with Ray Van Horn is brought to you by St. Croix Rods. Fish now, do everything else later. Frigid Rigid Coolers, the last cooler you'll ever buy. Miro Lure, turn on the bite anytime. Tie on a Miro Lure. Torque Lift International, the camper tie down and suspension of Gypsy Angler.
Tripletail are a pretty cool fish simply because they're very tasty little critters. And second of all, it coincides with stone crab season. It starts about October the 15th every year. There are thousands, if not more, crab traps put along the southwest coast of Florida for stone crabs. That creates all kinds of structure for these fish to relate to. And it really is a lot of fun and makes it very, very easy to target these fish.
Oh yeah. Nice. That's textbook right there.
That one is going to be fish tackle.
There you go.
That was fun right there.
Good fish.
That is some very, very, very fine eating. You know when you can't get your hand around it. Boy, they're fat too, Ryan, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, real good size.
That one wasn't coming loose. That first one come off here like it was free beer and chicken.
Yeah, and you called it 100%.
You got lucky.
Yeah, one thing, you can get pretty close to these fish. They're not very boat shy. They're used to all the boats. The crabbers are out here pulling up the traps, so they're used to a boat going by them, hearing an engine. They don't really shy away, and it also, I think that engine and the motion of the trap coming up and down, that just creates more of a chum slick. The traps get rebaited, so you can get fairly close to these fish. They're not as skittish as a redfish would be or something like that. So if you have decent boat control and you just get in casting range, they'll cooperate. Oh.
Oh, he's on the crab trap. He's off the crab. No, he's on the crab trap. Okay, triple tail and a crab trap. He's got it looped around. There we go. My dentist would love that shot. Ryan, I'll tell you what, that little holographic shrimp that Tsunami makes,
Yeah.
I mean, they don't turn that down. But that popping cork keeps that bait right in his face. That's what's so cool about that.
That's a cool bite, and you get that visual bite too.
Yeah, and they're really a cool fish. You got to watch out right here. These are sharp. These fins are very, very rigid, and so are the pec fins down here. All right, let's put him back in the pool. These triple tail were loaded. I mean, they were loaded off the beach. He'll be back on that buoy in about 10 or 15 minutes, probably.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of different rigging configurations that are successful on triple tail. Some people like just a light jig. I like a popping cork simply because I can keep it in the strike zone longer. I don't have to fish it nearly as aggressive when those fish are a little tentative, which they can be very tentative depending on how much pressure and atmospheric pressure they're receiving also. I'm telling you, this high pressure is messing with these triple tail too.
Yeah, it's a tough bite inshore, offshore, and we're getting a few of them to cooperate.
The Gypsy Angler with Ray Van Horn is brought to you by Procure Bait Sense, ruthlessly effective. Blue Point Fabrication, if you can dream it, we can build it. Dick Norris GMC, the preferred truck dealer of the Gypsy Angler. Bob's Machine Shop, go fast, go shallow, go efficient.
So everywhere I go, I utilize a popping cork and a leader, and in this case, a Tsunami holographic shrimp. That holographic shrimp is so realistic. And he had just taken one off my hook prior to that.
Yeah, you're gonna find your other shrimp inside his belly.
Yeah, perfect.
There you go.
That's how you do that. Right, he's fat.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you.
There's some fillets on that one.
Dude, that thing's 2 inches thick.
Yeah.
Man, we were so into this triple tail thing, we had run from St. Pete all the way to Indian Rocks. I mean, we look up and there it is, and I'm going, holy cow, that's a lot of crab traps, that's a lot of running. I'll tell you what, that triple tail fishing is great. It's been a long time since I've fished that area, but that sun was setting. It was absolutely gorgeous, and it was just a calm, peaceful ride back. Enjoyed fishing with Captain Ryan Harrington. He's a real talent. Highly recommend him. Inshore, nearshore, offshore, the guy's got it all. And I look forward to fishing with him again real soon.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, that was a good one, too.
Yeah.
Dadgummit, man. Hey, they get to play, too. Ryan, that was cool, man. Even under tough conditions, post front, we still got a few of those triple tail to eat.
Yeah, we sure did. Yeah, it wasn't easy, but we took what we could, and you were good there with that popping cork. That was a lot of fun.
I got lucky 3 or 4 times, and still, a lot of them didn't eat it, but we still made some chicken salad out of it. In this week's episode, we utilized St. Croix's new Avid Inshore series of rods, primarily the 7'6" medium light action, fast tip. And this is just an unbelievable tool. It gives you great distance, great accuracy. You can throw very light presentations like the Mirrodines on them. And when you hook up, it's got the perfect parabolic bend to the rod so you don't pull those hooks. Coupled with that, we also utilized a Canyon 3000 spinning reel, smooth, great drag on these, seamless operation. And that was pretty much the delivery system for the entire show. Lure selection was pretty simple. MirrOlure Miradines and Tsunami holographic shrimp. 1-2 punch, bam. Fish hard, because you don't get this day back. Till next time, tight lines.